Hey, Drew, two-parter. First, I just kind of noticed the tape on your right shoulder. Is that been something you've been doing all season? And then the second part, that 4th and 2 in overtime, were you kind of pleading with Sean to keep you guys on the field, or were you okay with punting it away?
No, listen, the 4th and 2 in overtime, I felt like the wise thing to do was punt it. Don't give them a short field with the wind. Punt them down in. I felt like our defense was really playing good, and would stop them, and then we'd get the ball back, and then we'd go down and kick a field goal, win the game, and that's exactly what happened.
Next one's from Larry Holder.
Drew, you guys have won so many of these types of games over the last 4 years for sure. What are the key elements to win these type of games? What, offensively, defensively, special teams, what are the key elements for you guys to maintain so many wins in these scenarios?
First off, it's just belief. It's belief that put ourselves in a position to win the game, and we'll win it. And it takes everyone. It takes obviously defense coming up with a big stop, offense put us in field goal range, and then special teams, kicking it through and winning the game. But when you look at just the larger scope of an entire game, it's always ebb and flow. There's back and forth. Those momentum changes. I mean, listen, we knew this was going to be a battle coming up here. Playing Chicago on the road, tough conditions. Them coming off a tough loss on Monday Night Football, so we knew they were going to be ready to play. We knew it was going to be a tough physical game. It was every bit of that. And you just find a way. We got down by 10 points, I think, early. But just continue to stay the course and stay with the process, and the outcomes will come as a result.
Next one's from Jeff Duncan.
Hey, Drew, we talked earlier in the week about the hurricane. What was it like for the whole team this week? I know you had some teammates that probably lost power, were having to go down to a hotel. How much did it affect preparation and your all's mindset going into this?
Yeah, I mean, we all lost power. Everybody did, the whole city. In fact, in driving to work early in the morning at right there in the Zephyr parking lot, seeing trucks as far as the eye could see, all the telephone pole trucks, and it seemed like guys coming from around the state, to help, get the power lines back up and going, get trees, off the power lines, get things picked up, get things redone so that everybody could get their power back. Obviously it's a tough deal when you got the entire city that's affected like that. But God bless those men and women. And I think for us, I mean, listen, it definitely, you have to make some adjustments in regards to preparation. And I know even with our facility, there's certain areas that don't have power. So and then you got COVID to throw in that as well. And so just kind of that balance of continuing to still prepare and get ready to come win a football game is, certainly plenty of challenges there.
Next one's from Chris Hagan.
Coach Payton mentioned that the conditions were better than you guys expected. Did you guys become more comfortable with them as the game went along?
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, the wind is going to be a factor. Initially they were saying 20-mile-an-hour winds consistently and 40-mile-an-hour gusts. So with those projections, you obviously kind of have to have a plan for how you're going to play the game, just depending on which side of the wind you're on. I think it wasn't quite that bad, but there were definitely times where you're making decisions based on how the wind's blowing, and really the tough decision became in overtime where hey, do we take the wind or do we take the ball? We ended up taking the ball, just knowing that obviously we got a kicker with a strong leg, and we'd like to have first opportunity to get down there and kick a field goal or score a touchdown to win the game. That goes back to that 4th and 2 question where, hey, we're sitting there at midfield. Let's not give them a short field. Let's punt them down in, let our defense do their job. We'll get it back. We'll march us to field goal range, kick the game winner, and that's exactly what happened.
Next one's from Sean Fazend.
Hey, Drew, I'm reading a stat here. For the last 5 games, you've closed out the half with a touchdown drive. I'm just curious, what does that do for a team momentum-wise going into the locker room when you finish out the half with a touchdown?
Yeah, that's huge. That's huge. You almost view it as stealing a possession, especially when you don't give the other team an opportunity to come on the field and get an answer. Does a lot for momentum. Certainly in a situation like today where we had a good first drive, go down and get a field goal, but then they scored 13 unanswered points. We really needed some points, something good to happen there prior to the half. So just great all-around execution by everyone to get that done.
Next one's from Stacey Dales.
Drew, congratulations on the win. You just defeated a Bears defense without, I think, 3 of your top receivers, your best receivers outside of Kamara. What confidence do you draw from that? And through 8 games or, midpoint of the season, where are you mentally in terms of the rhythm with this offense, in terms of where you feel you guys are at right now?
Listen, I'm so proud of our team. I'm proud of all those young guys that have had to step up. I think the last 2 games, I think 4 out of our 5 receivers have been undrafted free agents. Practice squad, team effort, and guys just fulfilling, their role and what they're asked to do. Just everybody doing their job, and that's what the great teams do. You find a way to win. It's never going to be easy. There are always going to be 4-quarter battles or even overtime battles. I guess 2 of our last 3 have been overtime. But at the end of the day, you just want a chance to win, and everybody do their job, and that's what's been able to happen here.
Thanks.
Last one's from Nick Underhill.
Drew, what's it kind of do for a team's identity when you do keep winning these ugly games? Like, can that pay off later in the season just to know that you can fight your way through these consistently?
Absolutely. Battle tested. That's what it is. Battle tested. No matter what situation we find ourselves in, we're going to be able to draw on a lot of these other moments where we had to find a way to win. And it was probably a combination of every phase. But, defense knows when they need to step up and make a play. Offensively, we know when we need to step up and make a play. Special teams the same way. And, we do it all together, and that's called complementary football. That's what we're trying to be all about.
We're all set. Thanks, Drew.